This episode of the Community Workbench podcast is brought to you by yours truly, Matt Noren of Remax Bell Park Realty. For any of your real estate needs, give me a call, 860-428-6534. Your dreams are my job. Welcome to the Community Workbench. This is Matt Noren and Kyle Morrissey. We are your hosts of the number one podcast in my basement. Every week, we bring you small businesses, entrepreneurs, community leaders, charities, and pretty much whoever we feel like talking to. So here we are. Give a warm welcome to Crumb Patisserie.
You did it.
Good job.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Pamela. How are you guys?
Good.
I'm glad that's such a laugh.
You did real well.
It only took you a week to learn the word.
Some people don't even attempt it.
All right. So before we do anything, let's get the name out of the way. How did you come up with the name? What does patisserie mean?
Well, patisserie, we're not super French, but being that, it's not all we do, but we do a lot of pastries, and that's what a patisserie basically deals with. You have a patisserie that deals with, a bakery that's mainly pastries, breakfast kind of things, and you got boulangeries, which are breads, and things along those lines. So we kind of fall right in between, with what we do. We're very limited to what we can do at this point, with the type of license we have. So once we have a storefront, we're going to really unload.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the future. Is a storefront.
That's what our goal is.
Yeah.
We got to start off really small. Our situation, we started out, or we wanted to open a storefront back before COVID,
2020.
2020. So shortly before COVID, we had a place we were about to sign a lease on Main Street in Danielson, actually where Gloria's Kitchen is right now. Yeah, we're going to rent that.
We had planned. We started planning in 2019.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
started talking about doing a bakery.
I drew out floor plans for business.
Yeah.
I worked in restaurants all my life, designing kitchens and setting them up in the whole 9 yards. So for me, that was kind of, in my wheelhouse. And threw together a quick plan, and it didn't quite pan out for obvious reasons with the pandemic. And I got divorced, and I wasn't doing anything but eating ramen at that point.
Okay.
Life happens,
Life happens. I'm still trying, and that's basically why the business is what it is right now, and why we're actually in business. I was in court because I had to pay child support because real estate, as you know, is tough at times. I had a really big deal. I do some wholesale stuff, and that fell apart. I had a really big deal. It fell apart. Everything was hanging on that, and it didn't work. And sorry,
It's all right.
I get a little emotional. So
Okay.
I was facing jail time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I was behind $3,000 in court fees, in child support, which has happened before. Being a real estate agent, I always pay when I got paid, and they were cool with that. But they got somebody with a hair across them that didn't want to deal with that anymore, so they dragged me into court. And I've been digging myself out of this hole since November.
And that's where Crumb came in, really.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like it was something we had been planning for a while. We really wanted to do, and the dream had never gone away. But there were things that got in the way from us starting when we wanted to start.
Yeah.
And we really just said, you know what, we got to do this. This is like a last ditch effort
For survival,
We
really.
really
I was
need to open.
Yeah.
and
3 months
We need
behind
another
in
source
rent.
of income.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do what we loved, and we were hoping that it would lead to something bigger.
Yeah.
Like a
we're-
storefront where I can quit my job.
We were close to homeless. 3 months behind in rent, ready to be evicted. Although
Yeah.
my landlords they're beautiful people,
And that's,
supportive.
That's the
Oh,
truth
wow.
of it. That's
Good.
the nitty gritty of it. If everybody wants the real story, that's it.
Yeah.
It's-
So.
Yeah.
But I've been in the restaurant business my whole life. Not so much baking the whole time, but running restaurants and in a creative role and things along those lines. So it's something I love to do, but I got out of the business because I also hate it. I did it for 30 years
For restaurant.
for restaurant work,
Yeah.
and I always said to myself, with every job I took, I'm never going to do this again unless it's for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Very satisfying when it's for yourself.
Yeah.
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 So talk to me about like your licensing. So you guys have a bakery out of your
Out of the house. So it's
Okay.
a cottage license, what's called a cottage license. So you're limited to the products that you can produce. You can't produce hazardous foods, potentially hazardous foods like temperature controlled things. You can't do that. You have to have what's shelf stable, at least for a few days.
Yeah.
And that's everything that we do.
Oh, okay.
So we're limited
Gotcha.
to what we can do. We can't really do like pastry creams and things like that. You can buy commercial products, but
That's not what
they're
we do.
garbage and they taste like
Right.
everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not like everybody else, everything.
Yeah.
I just, that's me. So most stuff, almost everything I do is from scratch, what I can do.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? The lemon curd, unfortunately, something as simple as lemon curd, we can't even do that in our kitchen. So I have to buy lemon curd tonight, and we'll give you guys a couple things too. I brought you some bagels. I heard you talking about the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I saw you
Full
guys.
dozen.
I saw you guys post the New York bagels, and I was like, "Look at those!"
So we brought you some of those to share, and we brought you a couple of Brooklyn rolls. It's a pretty ridiculous pastry that we do
Yeah.
that grabbed a lot of attention. So
Oh,
Nice.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
really
Thank
That's
you
awesome.
very much. Looking forward to that. So when I'm on vacation, especially with my in-laws, my mother-in-law and I love pastry and coffee in the morning.
good.
Just
So you'll
like-
be a good critic.
like, where can we find a good pastry in the morning?
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing dainty about the pastry I brought you, so
Yeah.
I have to get messy with that one.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try not to eat on the air as we.
That's
It's a little noisy.
Yeah, exactly.
you can enjoy it in peace and talk about us later.
But Paul, he taught himself how to make pastry dough and laminated pastry. It's something that he really wanted to do. He had never really done it before, and he worked tirelessly, day and night.
Yeah.
A lot of frustration learning a new craft is a learning curve with laminated dough, and he nailed it. He did really well. Same thing with the bagels. He was like determined. He was so mad when he would get them wrong, and now he's got it,
Gotcha.
and it's fantastic. So.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. So what is the difference between dough and laminated dough?
So laminated dough, you're doing a piece of dough, and then you're taking a butter sheet, and you're folding it into the dough many, many times over. So you have to do it's very sensitive with temperature and everything else, and it's finicky. It's very finicky. So getting it just right to where you're getting just these layer after layer of dough, butter, dough, butter, dough, butter. So when it cooks and the steam inside from the butter and everything else and the fat, it separates each layer. That's where you get that flaky separation of the layers.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
It's
good
making my mouth water. Gotcha. So the Brooklyn roll, is that something that's like stuffed? Is that
It's
laminated?
filled-
Is
yeah,
that
it's a laminated
that's
dough.
laminated.
It's a laminated dough spread with almond frangipane, which is like an almond kind of paste.
Ugh,
Okay.
My
And it
wife is a sucker for. She loves almonds.
Almonds.
Oh my gosh.
We make that. We make that in house too.
Yeah, so-
Yeah, we make almost everything from scratch.
So like,
Everything.
So very little that we don't.
I'm total novice with this.
Yep.
Even talking about it, almond pastry or what'd you
Almond
call
Almond
paste,
frangipane.
frangipane.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, is that start with almonds?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
almond flour, almond
Oh,
flour,
okay.
egg, almond extract, and sugar. And, yeah, it's simple. It's a simple
Wow.
process,
Yeah.
but the flavor is amazing. So it's rolled, it's spread on the dough, it's rolled, put into a pan, and it does beautiful things. Kind of, yours is a little
They all
oversized.
have a mind of its own.
They have a mind of
Very
their own.
interesting.
Okay.
None of
But
them are
then
the
we
same.
let them cool, and then we fill them with various things. Our cream filling, which is a shelf-stable cream filling that we make, and then also different fruits. Like we brought lemon curd, we brought our raspberry filling, but we do a janduja, which is like a chocolate ganache and very nutty chocolate.
Gotcha.
We do what else? We do caramel,
Caramel.
blueberry.
The lemon's my favorite.
Yeah, lemon's good. Really nice. But yeah, we're always going to be doing something different. Maybe not readily available every week, something different. But I get a little lazy sometimes and have to sit back, regroup.
Everybody needs a rest.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've been
Well,
going
we've
since
been nonstop.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We opened Thanksgiving weekend.
Wow.
We opened for Thanksgiving. That was our grand
Well,
soft
opening.
soft opening.
That was
Yeah.
2020.
That
that
was
was
this
this year.
This
Oh,
2023.
oh,
Yeah, we actually
That's when
didn't. We didn't
officially
start.
opened.
Yeah, we officially opened recently, right
Oh.
before
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We opened
We
for Thanksgiving.
we started planning in 2019. But
Yeah.
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 so-
So that was
72 hours straight.
That was something opening for Thanksgiving. We took Thanksgiving orders. We were like, well, here we go. Let's hope we don't mess up because this is kind of important.
Right?
Yeah, and
That's,
not to mention
trial
that.
by fire.
Yeah, and that's
a
like
huge.
taking orders is like a huge
Ah.
holiday thing, right? So
Yeah.
that would be normal for every
was insane.
bakery,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was-
we came in at the right time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were up for 72 hours straight. We had a 2-hour
For
rest
Thanksgiving.
for Thanksgiving.
Because you didn't know what you were going to, you
Yeah.
just opening. You have nothing ready. You have
Yeah.
nothing to go on.
And
you
orders
you
to
didn't know
make.
what people were going to order, what was going to look good to people. So you just sat back and you waited, and then they started coming in. And we were like, okay. But 72 hours, we did not sleep. And we're not stretching the truth.
Not at all.
We did not sleep.
Delirium.
And I still went to work because I worked
Yeah.
during the day. So I still did my regular job during the day, and then I came home.
Yeah.
And then I worked in the bakery, and we stayed up all
Yeah,
night
but
for
now a
some
24-hour night is nothing. It's like you stay up for 24 hours without even thinking.
We try to avoid it. I don't do well.
Yeah, it's actually not good for your health.
Yeah, no, it's really not.
It's not. But we do it when we have to do
When we
it.
have to do it, we
has
do
to get
it.
done, and
We do it,
it gets done.
because
Yeah.
you don't want to disappoint people.
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
and those
like-
those are customers that'll come back, right?
They
I
are.
mean,
Definitely.
that's
They
repeat
are.
business is everything.
They are,
for
and
you.
and really the payment is when they pick it up for us. It's not the money. It's we've discussed this so many times. It's not the money. The payment for us is when they pick it up, and we don't even consider it paid for then. When we get the response, when they text us or email us or
Yeah.
reach out to us and say, "Oh my God, this was amazing."
Yeah.
That's the payment.
Right.
Then we're like, "Okay, job's done.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
On to the next."
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And I love how you guys, you start in Thanksgiving weekend. That's like you put your backs against the wall.
did.
Like,
Oh, we
did.
bent. Can I say we bent over?
Yeah. all or nothing. for
Yeah,
that,
we
did, yeah.
We did.
yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes that's what you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, and that motivates you to kickstart it, and then you
Yeah.
just keep going. I mean, that's actually how like this started.
I was, I mean, we didn't have as much at risk for sure.
Yeah, no.
But like, when a local icebox just needed a platform,
Yeah.
I was just like, the studio's there. Stop kicking the can down the road and just go live. Just do it. And
Yeah.
I was, and then I was like, okay, we went live. We're going every week.
Might as well.
Awesome.
And-
Is that what started you? The icebox?
yeah,
Yeah.
well, so 2 years before that, we had started the studio and the platform, and I've said this so many times on, but yeah, we were basically gonna do polished episodes where we would just record 5 cameras and edit them all together, following the conversation, and that it was a nightmare. And learning it, so just learning to podcast and be a host was like learning the craft, and that came pretty naturally to me so far.
Yep.
Hopefully.
It's comfortable.
Other people can
Smooth.
tell me. Yeah, I'll let everybody else be the judge. But then, the editing thing is a whole nother. Yeah, I have a profound respect for people that edit and stare at a screen and watch the same thing over and over, and then like edit things down to the microsecond. And
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Is it
yeah,
not?
it's
Yeah.
a lot of work. So I was just like, we're gonna go live. It's gonna be one shot with my phone from now on, for now, and then we eventually acquired this switcher, and that's changed the game immensely. So now we can have picture in picture. We can
Nice.
show people's portfolios and websites and stuff like that
Nice.
right on the screen and stuff.
Awesome.
So it's made all the difference. And yeah, honestly, if Kyle didn't just jump in second episode and kind of latch on, it would be would have
Is
been a
it-
rough road.
Latching on, or you not letting go?
Yeah, okay. You tell it your way. I'll tell it my way. Just trying to pay him a compliment.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
Yeah. So, yeah. What a great beginning. I mean, you'll always have the story, and
Oh, yeah.
and
If we have nothing, we have that.
I
Yeah.
think, in hindsight, I think we're really glad that we did that. As stressful as
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
and as exhausting as it was, it took a little while to recuperate from losing that much sleep.
yeah.
I mean, I put that much work in for other people in their
Yeah.
mansions that they live in.
Right.
Why not try to survive on my own?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even as tiring as like emotionally exhausting as it is, like the first couple of episodes, because you're nervous and you're like, for us, it was just like even those nights you're so tired, but you still can't sleep because
Nope.
you're like, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it. We
You're
started.
excited.
It's just taking that step.
We got it.
almost.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. And then you're like, I should have done this years ago. So, yeah, that's awesome. So now, is there like other breads that you can do, or is there?
Yeah, there's so much stuff that I'm capable of doing. I just haven't even attempted yet because we'll put something out. It's funny how responsive people are.
Yeah.
You put something out there and everybody buys that,
Yeah.
and it takes all your time.
Yeah,
Oh,
because that's
okay.
all people want.
So
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 people
you're
buy.
want-
kind of like
You go
leading
in, like,
with the
waves.
signature Brooklyn.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even. It was something that I was playing around with, and I think Brooklyn kind of deserves its own little thing. It's a play off of what they call a New York roll, which you're getting down in New York. It's more of a disc, and they fill them and dip them, and they're cool as hell. But I would love to do something like that. But I, in the crunch, was playing around, and I came up with this. And
Yeah.
I kind of like it. So
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Do you do donuts or?
donuts are.
Oh
on
my God.
I mean, just.
I'm
talk
trying to be nice to all these other
Not-
businesses right now because I
He
think
will
they're
not
gonna start
stop
getting a
about
little
the
angry.
donuts. Yeah,
They're like, all right, guys, stay in your lane. But
consistent conversation.
Got it.
yeah, no, donuts are definitely something I'll be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you work out of your house. How can people find you or order? You
All
guys?
right, so many different ways. Facebook seems to be the way where everybody's found us. That's
Okay.
how they've gotten out there. Now it's word of mouth, which is also awesome. We've been doing a lot of corporate events. That's pretty much where we started. So they found us on Facebook. One of the first corporate events we did was for Pomfret
Comfort school.
okay.
School.
Oh, cool.
We did, I don't know, I did what? Bunch of pastries for that one. That was awesome. That was our first ever order, and first thing that we ever
They
did.
snuck it in before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We announced our grand soft opening.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this person, this very brave person, she said, I'm just going to reach out. And she reached out and asked if we could do an order. So that technically our first order wasn't Thanksgiving. It was
That's
just before.
Yeah.
We weren't
Okay.
technically open and we took it.
Yeah, it was a corporate
Yeah.
corporate deal. And then we've done Bank Hometown. We did
I don't even remember how many cookie trays we did for them. They hired us
thousands
for-
of cookies. Thousands
God.
of cookies that week. Between them and Sid Harvey's is a
We need some
HVAC
scoop and
contractor.
rollers.
Sean Martin, do you know Sean Martin in LA Lending?
Doesn't
he-
ring a bell yet?
Yeah, he's working for a corporate HVAC company. He called me and he's like, "Hey, you want to do a bunch of cookies?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to do cookies." And that's another 48-hour
I mean,
night.
I think we knew how big cookies were around Christmas time, but this was insane. I've never seen this many
Like
cookies.
close to 200 pounds of cookies.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice.
Yeah.
Wow. And this all comes out of your personal kitchen.
Out of
Yeah,
our kitchen.
small little 120
Yeah.
square foot kitchen, probably the size of this basement.
Now, when you're making an order to go right from your kitchen to an event like that, and it's going to be consumed right away,
Yep.
does that allow you to use any of the like things that, like you said, lemon curd? Or,
Yep. Yeah, it's all shelf stable, so everything we deliver is,
Yeah.
Well, my question was, can you use the other stuff that's not
Oh,
shelf
no.
No, legally
Nope.
we're not supposed
Legally,
to
we're
do
not
that.
allowed
So it
to.
doesn't-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's rough, and
Yeah.
a lot of times what happens is, most of the time, if we can't find a suitable replacement that we feel meets our standards of quality and taste, then we
We
don't
won't
offer
do
it.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
We just won't. We would much rather make it ourselves.
Yeah.
If we can't do that, and if we can't find it, then we're not.
There'll
offering.
become a time. I mean, we've got to leave something out there to be desired
Yeah.
once we get a storefront, which there will be plenty.
Yeah, when we get a
Yeah.
storefront.
Then we can do everything.
Yeah. Are you currently shopping for a store?
We can't afford it yet.
Not
We're
yet,
still we're
okay.
trying,
Ew.
trying
We
to
gotta
build
take
ourselves.
those baby
Yeah,
steps.
man.
You got to be
Yes.
ready. I get it.
We just bought our first mixer. Well, a new mixer today. We just got it delivered because we've been working out of 3 smaller mixers.
3 small KitchenAids, and one of them's broken. So
Yeah.
it broke.
So now I can do what I was doing in 4 or 5 loads. It would take me a couple hours in one shot. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh,
That'd be
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you get that set up today?
We-
I just got it. We haven't set
They
it up
just
yet.
delivered it
Just
today.
You're gonna be up all
Yeah.
night tonight.
No,
We gotta try this thing.
no, I'm gonna give it a rest tonight.
So, like, per week, like, what are your hours like? I mean, as a
It depends.
baker.
We're open.
depends on
Yeah,
order.
it depends on orders. We've had a couple light week. Well, last week was light week, but I kind of wanted it.
We
that
yeah
way.
we kind of wanted it
kind of mellow it out. We didn't do any Valentine specials.
Oh, really?
I didn't want to
Okay.
push for that. There's plenty of people out there that are doing that. Let them do it.
Yeah.
We'll sit back a little bit, kind of regroup, and make a plan for how we're going to move forward.
Yeah.
Easter.
Easter,
about Easter.
those are
yeah.
more important.
Practicing
Easter
some
can be big.
new recipes and
Especially Easter, a lot of
Working
Easter
on the menu.
brunches out there.
Exactly.
So.
So pastries, bagels, people love our bagels. You let us know what you think about them.
Oh, I will.
Yeah. Toast them, definitely toast them.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Toast it.
Makes
Make
all
a
the
great
difference.
hamburger bun too.
Yeah,
Oh.
bet they
You
do.
can put anything on this bagel.
Okay. I'm known to put anything on a bagel. So, now with the mixer, like is it like a regular stove and you're
Yeah, just a
baking?
regular stove.
So what's like the dream, like the big wolf thing, or is it?
I've worked in plenty of kitchens and I've worked with plenty of stoves. There's a lot of automated stoves that inject steam and stuff like that that are really
Oh, so there's stoves for pastries.
for breads
specifically
and
breads.
pastries. Yeah, I mean, sort of where you're injecting steam where you don't have to do it yourself. I mean, that's what we do now. I just put a pot of water in there, spray it down. I'm sorry,
That's
with water and whatnot, and to get that effect. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, there's ovens that do that stuff. But you're gonna pay
Yeah.
bucks. You know?
Right.
So
Yeah.
we're not there yet. We're not
Yeah.
there yet.
So you're on Facebook. Is there a website?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes,
There
yes,
is,
we do have a website. It's www.crumbpatisseriecafe.com.
Awesome.
You can order straight through there. There's a link, and it'll take you right to our menu. You can send us a message through Facebook and order there.
Yep.
You can email us, or you can just give us a call.
Yeah, we'll
all
send
our
you an
all our
invoice.
information is
Yeah.
right there on our website or on our Facebook page. So
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Now, do you do like do you have like gluten-free options?
No, at this
Not
time
yet.
we don't
Okay.
handle the gluten-free stuff.
yeah,
You know,
gluten
so
is
it's-
for me. It's kind of like not allergies. You know, my son has a severe peanut allergy, and then my other son has several food allergies. So I don't like to offer something if I know we're not producing it in a kitchen that is fully clean.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
To
like
get to
nut-free
people
or
because
gluten-free. You know,
Yeah.
sorry.
I just would know. I would hate for someone to make the mistake of if we said this does not contain gluten-containing ingredients. I would hate for someone to think that it's safe for celiac
Right.
Okay.
because it's
Yeah.
not. There is
Right.
flour everywhere
Right.
Okay. Gotcha.
in our kitchen. No matter
Yeah.
how much we clean, there's going to be flour in the air, and it's just not safe. So
And yeah.
yeah, so we don't offer that at this time.
Yeah. Even given all the food allergies and whatnot, there's always going to be a place in people's hearts for these products.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I know people with some pretty good gluten allergies that still partake in it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
rough.
On that note, we would always say that if you have an allergy, please let us know.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. We
Gotcha.
always try to accommodate.
Right,
You know, we
right.
really do. If you have a dairy allergy or something, we always try to,
We
switch
want
out
to
some
make you
ingredients.
happy, not dead.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It's not a good business plan if you're killing
I
off
mean,
your
no.
customers.
No, it's not.
I mean, Wilford Brimley's probably staring down at us, going, "You know, the diabetes is not your friend." And they're, so there's people down there who don't like us for that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you don't like it, just
Don't eat it.
That's it.
Don't
roll
order.
past
Look,
it,
I don't
you
know.
what
Go
I
for a
mean?
walk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Brisk
like
jog.
anything else. There's always so many scare and panic tactics from different
Everywhere.
types of medias and
Yeah.
whatnot. So
Yeah.
just like kind of have to be you.
Yeah.
That's it.
And obviously, people are taking to your product, and
And we're grateful
We're very
for that.
grateful.
Super
Yeah.
grateful. I'm glad
Very
you like what
grateful.
we're doing, and we'll continue. And
Yeah.
that's, you guys are driving us to do it. So.
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I love I started in my kitchen. I started in my garage. Those
Yeah.
stories just always are so riveting to
Yeah.
me.
Just keep us busy.
yeah.
That's what we want.
Right.
Because if we have a moment like last week, we made a choice to not take a lot of orders because we just wanted a little bit of a mellow week.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there were times when we were just twiddling our thumbs. We were like, we don't know what to do.
Okay.
Keep us busy.
Would last week have been busier? Like,
Oh, yeah.
did a lot of people reach out and
Yeah,
you
we
just weren't able
last
to
week
do
would
it?
have been busier.
Well,
we
yeah.
just chose
We chose to not really.
to not and have a weekend. It had been a while since we had gotten out, so we went to Niantic. And
Whoops.
that
Oh,
was
nice.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
Nice walk over there. It was great.
I used to work in Niantic, and then I would text my wife pictures from the park that we would eat lunch at. She was in a cubicle in Boston when we were younger.
Sounds like stuff he does to me.
That
during the day
sounds
sometimes.
so much of something you would do.
Like, look where I'm eating lunch. There's the ocean. beautiful.
I know which park you're talking about. Too.
Oh, there was plenty. We used to do awnings with Niantic Awning Company, so we were just, and the guy that drove the truck knew the area so well, so he was like, "Oh, we're close to here," so that's where you just picnic table. I'm from around here. I didn't know the area that well. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I lived and worked all over Connecticut, so I pretty much know all these little secret spots.
Yeah.
I know, and I love it. Yeah.
Yes.
I had never been anywhere before I met him, so.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Connecticut. I've lived in, let's see, Killingly, Putnam, Rogers, like this whole little corner. My parents didn't really go anywhere. You know, they didn't move around. We didn't really travel. I got married young. I had children, and I was a stay-at-home mom, so I was where I was.
Nice.
But I was a professional cake decorator for
Oh wow.
Oh.
Okay.
You guys
several
do
years.
cakes?
I taught myself. We haven't. We actually someone just reached out to us for a small wedding in July, which is nice. So we might be doing that. But yeah, we do cakes. We just haven't had the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where people will reach out to us and they'll say, "Hey, do you do this?" And we'll be like, "Sure,"
Right. Yeah.
because we know we can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we just haven't done it yet. You know, if you reach out to us and you don't know if we've done something, just ask.
I really want to do a lot more cakes, but
Yeah.
we just got to
Yeah.
get through. We got to find the balance. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
the hard part is.
It's gonna be so much easier when we have a storefront.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
So much easier.
cakes would allow you to have so much creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the art
they do.
Of it.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
cakes are really satisfying when you get to the end.
Yeah.
But the process, people don't really understand what goes into making a cake
Oh.
and how much time
Yep.
and frustration sometimes. But in the end, it's always worth it.
Yeah.
But that's why they are what they are.
Yeah.
My-
My kids love that show. Is It Cake?
Yeah.
I do not like that show very much.
Does it mess with you?
They love it, and I'm just like, all right. And some of the stuff is mind-boggling that they make, and I'm like, God, and that's all edible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
it's-
we're gonna be branching off of our business at some point. It's probably not the place to talk about it today as far as the content of it, but you know, there is a secret. There's a market out there for stag parties and things along those lines. So our creativity can kind of go wild and
Yeah.
a little wilder at that point. But
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah. Just finding another little niche that you
Yeah.
can branch out into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
So
Yeah, some of the design. So my wife took the like Michael's courses of cake, and she just to do artwork.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
she's an accountant, but she
Yeah.
has a very
creative mind.
strong creative part to her that needs alleviation. So did I make that word up?
No, that's
No,
No,
you're
that's
good. Yeah, you're doing well.
Yeah. So she's just done stuff for family members and stuff like that, and,
Nice.
and whatever. If like we're bringing a cake.
That's how I started.
Yeah,
That's how I
just-
started.
Yeah.
I was
It
like,
is,
ooh, I have a
yeah.
new design I want to work on.
Yeah. So she usually, if someone, she doesn't really take much of any orders from anyone as far as that stuff. It's not like not like a side gig or anything like that. It was just really fun for her, and she took the class with a friend. So,
Nice.
That's awesome.
but yeah, I've definitely been the dishwasher and whatever, and it's a task.
It's
to
a lot of
make
work.
Even
It is.
one cake, or
It is.
when you're thinking like a lot of people love the cupcake craze, so
Yeah.
there's like 100-something cupcakes that make one thing.
Yeah.
Years ago, she made a cartoon character. It'll come to me at 1:00 in the morning tonight.
Put it in
But
the comments.
But all the all the cupcakes were this little girl in a dress,
Oh,
purple dress.
Rapunzel.
No,
Dora.
no, I don't think- no.
This is not a
or-
fun game.
But anyway,
What do we win?
like they made all these. She made all these cupcakes that made and it's just like it's incredible. Like some of the things that you can do with cake. As I've only seen the couple of memes online with "Is it cake?"
Oh,
I didn't realize that was a show.
yeah.
Netflix. I've never actually watched it. I think the kids have though.
Yeah, it's just wild to see the things you can do with sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Oh, it's amazing.
and making it look identical to these things, and then they have judges that have to judge, and they put them all out in front of them. They say, "Is it cake or is it
Yes.
not?" And they have to pick the ones, and it's amazing. You're like, "Oh my gosh!" And so they like it because they pick one, and then they're wrong or right, and so it's a fun game for them. But
Food is art, man. Just
It
like
really
anything
is.
else.
Yeah.
It
it
really is.
really is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
yeah,
And, so, yeah, like, I've seen a chocolatier guy do the same thing, like this.
That's amazing
microphone.
stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh, I would love
Stuff
to
like
work with
that.
chocolate more.
Okay, so that's another.
Eventually.
You guys are getting
Eventually.
Spread.
Yeah,
you guys make your own chocolate?
No, no,
No.
No, we're very creative though. So whenever we see new techniques and stuff, we always want to try it. Doesn't mean we're going to try it
Or
right
old
away,
techniques
but
that I've never done. It might be a
Yeah.
little surpassed, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to nail it down.
Yeah.
Leads to something else. So,
Yeah, yeah, definitely honing your skills, even
Yeah.
if it just brings you back to the basics.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So-
It's
And that's the
important.
thing. Like any restaurant I've ever worked in, I treat it like boot camp. I mean, I'm well equipped in the kitchen. I can walk into any kitchen and do my thing.
Nice.
But every kitchen I've ever walked into, I treat it like boot camp. Get
Yeah.
my butt kicked for 6 months, do things the way they want, forget what you know, and try to, and then discern whether or not that's the smart thing to do. Because there's a lot of stuff that you just know is not right. So you
Yeah.
can't. There's no way you can follow suit. But for the most part, there's a few restaurants that I was in an environment where I actually learned something.
Yeah, being coachable is
Is
just,
important.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it opens you up to so many different things
Yeah.
to learn and just expand.
That's it. With anything, you got to open
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
So
that's a good trait to have.
Being coachable.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for coaching me.
Yeah. Also,
sorry.
also having the ability to coach, though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's all right. That camera is
that
now.
gonna be on-
Yeah,
Oh,
that's okay.
Sorry, man.
It's all good.
dude.
I thought you said I couldn't break it. I broke it.
No, you didn't break it. It just turned.
Out
It's
of
all good.
alignment.
Yeah,
It's only Kyle's.
yeah, it's only mine. I don't need to be on camera. Oh, there you go. We're good.
There we go.
It's actually better. You can sit in for Kyle.
Cool.
anytime you want.
So we do have a comment. I don't know who this person is because the comment is
Uh-oh.
Pat's fan no matter.
Oh,
so you guys
geez.
must know.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
This could go either way. What's
but
up,
no,
man?
he said that all your stuff is incredible.
Aw,
Thank
yeah.
you, man.
He's-
Really,
he's
really
like-
good sweets, breads, and bagels.
He's
so.
like a brother to me.
yeah, he's a great guy.
He's also, not a podcaster yet, but he's a blossoming, kind of an activist, really. And I think there's a lot of things that bring out that in us nowadays. Unfortunately, we're in that environment, so there's a lot of stuff going on. So a lot of feelings getting thrown around, and I think they're needed. So
Yeah, the internet doesn't sleep.
No.
does not.
Just I don't know. I usually just don't partake in that stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Just
hard.
Like the commenting, and if we're not having a real conversation, and to me a text is not a real conversation
No.
or comment or any of that, so I just like, all right, well,
Yeah, fair enough. Me, unfortunately, I let things get to me occasionally. So.
So now, do you guys? So you have people can order anything, or you actually have listings on your
We
website?
have a menu, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, a menu they can order off of there, or if somebody has something that they request that is not on the menu, by all means shoot at us, and if we could do it for you, we will.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Absolutely.
and the is there like stock items that you guys have like on?
No, everything's pre-order.
Okay.
Everything's
'cause-
made to order.
Yeah, I mean that's how we can survive. Because if I made stock items and had to do flash sales to try to get rid of stuff all the time, I'd be losing product. And
Right.
I mean, maybe not, but
yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
when I can treat my business like a catering business, where you order something, I make it for you, and
Yeah.
it's just the way it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you always get it fresh, which is
And you always get
really
it
important
fresh.
to us.
Yeah, I mean, it's not sitting in a case, which is fine too, but it's not sitting in a case all day. It's
Right.
hours before it hits your lips. It comes out of the oven. So,
Gotcha. And you guys just drive it to wherever they're ordered from?
they local pickup.
We have curbside pickup.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful.
But we will deliver for events
Yeah.
Yeah.
or larger functions. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine especially if you get into cakes.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do
even
Yeah.
some
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't touch my cake. I'll deliver the cake. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The liability of
Yeah.
somebody
Oh,
transporting
I've-
their own cake and then it
Yeah.
tipping and then they come back.
I've
to you.
held cakes to events.
Yeah.
It's hairy. It's hairy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other thing is just keeping, like, if you have a certain icing, keeping it a certain temperature and stuff on
Very
the way
important.
there.
As he mentioned, it's sugar
Yeah.
Yeah.
and butter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it melts.
Right.
And sometimes things happen, because it's not foolproof. So
Yeah. We got ways to combat that, but
yeah, definitely.
We were on our way to Kayla's aunt's for either Thanksgiving or Christmas, and she had made a cake with, she took, like, chocolate that hardens at room temperature, and she, like, made a design.
like a shell kind of.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah.
like, stuck it up on the cake so it was standing up.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm holding this thing, and we get the light at Day Street to turn left on a Day Street from 6, and we're in the blaring sound. I can't do it. And the thing just starts losing pieces. I'm like, oh, no, I'm sorry. Got the AC on in the middle of December or whatever it was. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I think the worst thing I ever tried. I'm very ambitious. That's my problem. Sometimes too ambitious, but I nail it these days. It used to be I was ambitious and I would flop because I was too ambitious. But I made my ex-wife we had bulldogs, and I made her a cake that looked just like a bulldog, and it was probably about 50 pounds of bulldog head and fondant. And I got it to the table, and it was just a matter of time. I'm like, all right, cut it. Because it was just falling apart. And it looked great, before. And then, yeah, no.
One thing I learned is that when they do the fondant, so like my wife does this technique, is like when you're building something, is she'll make a Rice Krispies.
Yep, a form, yeah.
Carves
Yep.
the shape, and then
Yes.
you cover it with fondant.
That's pretty much what that bulldog's
never
head
done that.
was Rice Krispies and fondant.
Weighs a lot less than cake.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And then, yeah, because you don't want collapse. And then, like, when you have a layered cake, you have the pillars inside the
You
cake.
gotta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need that support. Yeah,
All these different things that you're like, never even thought of that.
that's right.
It's a very interesting, career path or whatever for baking, and just all the different avenues you can go down, and really just push your creative side to
Yeah.
whatever limit you want to.
Yeah.
So
My first job was a Chinese restaurant when I was 15. And I was kind of went from there. I didn't cook. I was packing rice and answering phones, and I was the only white kid that ever answered the phone at a Chinese restaurant. People were shocked. I lived in Colchester, and people calling me like a whole dunk town. And the first week was funny. People calling, and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah,
I
Ming,
get to
Ming
wait?
Dragon. What do you want?"
Questioning the authenticity.
Yeah. I don't know if I want the food. But no, that was cool. And then pizza restaurants from there, and then country clubs, and
You guys ever see yourself expanding into like other foods, not just like
absolutely.
yeah, just like when you
Yeah.
when you have a storefront or something, or even before
Absolutely.
that. I don't know
Yeah.
if that your license limits you to
No,
those
well,
When
types.
we have a storefront,
When we have a storefront, it's
people have no idea.
All bets are off.
You,
Yeah.
you absolutely have no idea.
like I
what's
said,
gonna hit you in the
I'm gonna
face.
make a few people upset, a few other businesses, for the fact of they're like, you can't be doing this stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna be doing it, and it's gonna be responsive. I have so many concepts.
Yeah.
In my head that would just work. I pride myself on starting things very cheaply, because I have to.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
shoestring
so
budget.
shoestring budget. This is my second business that I started on a shoestring budget, which it was pretty much put together over the past couple of years, like little things, like equipment we've had, unboxing, packaging. We had some packaging which we pretty much put to waste because we
We
changed
really
our
did.
style.
We changed our
and,
style. We went for a different aesthetic because
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
we knew what we wanted to portray.
yeah.
And we ordered. We just did it smart, like just taking orders and not just making a bunch of stuff and hope that people buy it, but doing it the smart way, and it works. And if we keep doing that and we multiply what we're doing, now we can do more product. I'm not going to stay up 24 hours making bagels. I can do a ton in one clip. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I only still got the one oven, but
Right.
we do what we got to do. It still takes my hands, and I'm hands free, and I can be doing other things. And now I can do bagels every day instead of doing a 2-hour, a 2-day wait on bagels or two-day, pre-order. And now I can make bagels and say I got bagels available every day. I'm not saying I'm doing that right now, but I have.
We
That's
just
in the
unboxed the mixer.
it's in the future. So we need to make more money. We're our own worst enemy sometimes. Where we're like, oh, we made enough money. I can pay child support. I can pay. Well, I'm not quite there with paying rent too yet, but we're caught up. Real estate helps and making deals there too. So I work kind of simultaneously back and forth. If I'm not mixing something, I'm on the computer and that kind of thing. So do what you got to do to survive these days. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and I know we're not the only ones feeling that. So
no, it's so hard.
so many
for
people
everybody.
have 2, 3, 4 jobs just to
Yeah.
survive,
Yeah.
and it's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the big reasons for this platform is to just like I always felt like growing up, everything that northeast corner of Connecticut was just kind of like this overlooked place.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone really realizes its potential and what's already here, and has been here forever. And it just, like, how can we put this on the map? How can we put people
He
on
says
the
the
map?
same thing all the
You
time.
know,
Yeah,
and even my grandmother used to complain because Plainfield and all the towns around us where we grew up were never on the Weather Channel. They're
Like, where is this
They would
place?
talk about the weather, and even we're having nor'easter. And they never even mentioned like northeastern towns like Danielson or Plainfield or anything. She's like, they never even say it. They don't put it on the map.
Forget about those little towns like Attawagan,
Yeah.
Louisville.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, moose up.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk more about your packaging, feel free to
Yeah,
grab
man.
one.
So
I mean,
we brought you a couple of things here. Am I wired here? I am.
Yeah, you can
that's
put
okay.
it.
You can reach.
So we started out back in 2020 and 2021 when we were just starting to like stock up on a little packaging here and there.
Yeah.
We started with the traditional white boxes and everything, and then the more we realized the type of aesthetic we were going for, we really liked the natural brown craft
Yeah.
box.
Well,
Your
plus it is.
traditional baker's
let me put
twine.
that one. Yeah. Plus, they have. You guys use a stamp for
I
you.
wouldn't. I
do.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
that's just
all the
fine.
boxes are hand stamped.
Yeah.
That's our stamp. And then the labels are always on the back. So if you guys are looking for ingredients, which we always have to include the ingredient labels.
Yeah, that's
You'll either get them in a pamphlet if you get, for instance, like one of our bundles. The ingredient list will be in a pamphlet. Otherwise, it'll just be on the back of the box. You guys can check it out.
yeah. And but talking about, your expenses, you look at, you have to have these two labels
Yeah,
plus the
yeah,
box
yeah.
of this.
It's
And you haven't, and then the
stuff
pastry,
inside
right?
is the
Exactly.
pastry,
So
and then you
Pastry,
have the
yeah.
lining, the paper, and all that. Like it's
You can do
it's
it,
all in
buddy.
there.
Got me on camera.
What?
perhaps we should add scissors
How
to our.
did you tie it?
What did you do?
You tied it in a knot.
I didn't. I tied in a bow.
Yeah, it was in a bow. It just, I don't know. I
Oh.
pulled the wrong one or something, but
Not accessible.
it's beautiful packaging. So I was like, there's got to be something beautiful.
Well, I hope so. I hope
Let's
it's better
show
than the
everybody.
box. It's definitely gonna taste better than the box.
Here, let's move some stuff out of the way.
Oh man,
goodness.
Yeah, man.
look at that.
Share those. I forgot to bring a bag. I was gonna bring a bag for you guys to split them up.
Oh, that's yeah.
We got-
We'll have no problems with it. I'll probably go
Put
home with
there
one in my mouth.
jalapeno cheddar.
Definitely toast them because it brings the bagel right out.
Ah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're
jalapeno
welcome.
cheddar.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Sarah would like those though.
There's cheddar without jalapeno also, so
Yeah.
there's with and without.
See, they catered to everybody.
Asiago.
That one might have tipped over.
Yeah, when I tipped it, that's all right.
That one.
It's gonna be just as delicious. It's just a little more
I
messy.
can't. Yeah, we can't move the camera, but it's a lemon.
Yeah, is that
Yeah.
the lemon one? Is
Yeah.
it upright?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're good.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
And this
that
one is
looks-
raspberry.
That looks so good.
Very nice. Just show the top of the. That's on
Oh.
the top and the bottom of the lid. That's on the top and the bottom of the lid.
Yep.
And
Now, just keep in mind they're all hand stamped, so occasionally it might look a little wonky.
That's the beauty of it, though.
Makes
When
it
your hand shakes,
makes
you
it
know,
authentic.
and you're
That's
like,
it.
"Sure."
Art is imperfect, right?
Yeah.
and you said that this is traditional packaging.
Traditional baker's twine typically, but
You guys, your wife's from Boston, right? Or she works in Boston?
oh, if you go to Modern Pastry,
She worked
that's
in
where you're
Boston. Yeah.
Modern.
Like Modern and Mike's. Oh, man.
That's
we
where
love,
they
Oh,
wrap it
Mike's
in.
pastry.
we
So
love
Providence.
Boston.
we would go to Danish Pastry House in Medford,
Okay.
which is right near Tufts.
Oh,
Oh my gosh! So my wife's she loves marzipan,
Yeah.
and so they always had a
Oh,
lot.
nice.
So when you talk about almond, I was
Yeah.
like,
We
oh,
love
Share that
to-
with her, man.
Yeah.
yeah, we love to go check out different bakeries
Yeah.
and stuff. That's what we did for a lot of our research.
Research
We
and-
went and just to kind of taste and look at what they were charging
Yeah.
and all that stuff. You know,
Research.
It was
It's a
fun.
lot of
A lot of research.
Because you want to be priced right for what you're doing, but you don't want to be priced too high. Which, I mean, in this economy, we probably are priced a little high for some people. But I think once we have a storefront, we could probably get away with dropping the prices a little bit on some things. You know what I mean?
yeah. But I think people, once they have the product, they
Yeah.
know,
Depend-
people that you
think
want
we're
as
priced
customers
right
will
for what we are.
understand.
Right.
Right.
And I mean, compared to what you're getting, what you're paying in other places, the quality is certainly worth it. What you're getting and the craftsmanship behind it. So that's my opinion. I'm a little biased. I make the stuff. But,
You have a right to do that.
I mean, that's what a lot of other people are saying too. So
I guess
it's an educated
it's
opinion.
confirmed. I guess.
I totally get it. I just wanted to introduce my podcast as the number one. So I just had to add the caveat in my basement.
There you go.
It should be. In your basement.
Yeah, we like I always say, we don't want to be better than anybody. We want to be better than ourselves every day.
Yeah,
It's kind of
every
like
day.
golf, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't want to beat
That's who
anybody.
we're trying
Hey,
to.
you're only beating yourself, right?
That's
Yeah.
it.
Although Kyle beats me at golf all the time.
Well, that's not hard. I had a question. I don't know what I was going to ask. Yeah,
It's funny. We talk about John Jana almost every episode now.
Yeah.
He showed me a bakery in the north end of Boston.
Oh, he's Italian, so
Yeah,
yeah.
and he loves
Was it Mike's?
No, he was actually showing us Mike's, and he's like, you can go to
Modern.
Mike's if you want.
Yeah.
But there's one back here that not as many tourists know about.
Oh.
Which one is that?
It's a short name, and if you said it, I'd be like, yep, that's the one.
John, if you are listening, or when you do listen,
Yeah, listen, we like
throw it
Boston.
in the
if you wanna
comments,
know.
please.
Yeah, we're going. We're,
Inquiring minds.
yeah, we'll wait for it to warm up a little bit, and then we'll head
Yeah,
up to
walk
Boston.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we go out there
We
quite a bit.
when we go to Boston, we walk the
Walk,
entire
walk,
city
walk.
of Boston.
We
Yeah.
hurt.
And we hurt so bad, and my arthritis hates me.
No.
Hates me so bad. But we still do it because we love it.
Yeah, last time we went over to the Elizabeth Garden Museum. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. They had an art heist there back in the 90s.
That was
Wow.
One of the largest art heists in history, and they still got the frames are all empty from where they had the art
yeah, it's
taken.
really cool.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool to hit. There's actually on Netflix. There's this is a robbery. It's a good
Okay.
good
Yeah.
series. Check it out.
Yeah, it's an
But
awesome
yeah, it's
museum
all
in
about
Boston.
that. My father happens to know one of the guys they talk about out of Hartford, which is kind of interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, interesting story.
Yeah, it's funny. I am not a city person. I think
Yeah,
Kyle
me
can.
Yeah.
I never was either. I was like, no,
I-
thank you. Too much anxiety for me, thanks. But I love Boston.
My-
Boston is
The history and everything else.
amazing.
Yeah.
It
My-
feels like home.
I'm a Yankees fan, but
Oh, I wish I knew that
But
before.
I am not.
I can't say I'm a fan.
My daddy raised me on the Red Sox.
I was raised a Yankees fan.
Actually, I was.
Yeah,
too.
so I
Very
can't say I'm a
little.
fan of anything.
Pictures of me as a very young kid in Yankees outfits, and I married into a diehard Boston
Yeah.
family. So
That's
I don't know what Dad would have thought.
That's funny. I went up and interviewed at a restaurant up in Massachusetts. That's up in Marlborough, actually. And I went and I interviewed the owner, and he walks in the building with a Yankees jacket on. I'm like, I love this guy. I love it.
Sometimes I like the bold move. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they can just walk around with whatever. You know, like a brand that's totally opposite everybody else's. It's just like, there you go. Be you.
That's right. You.
But yeah, the city thing, I'm like, about 10 minutes into a city, I'm like, can we go home?
I like to
Can we
say
go back to where it smells like manure?
I've lived my life in kind of shared like city and not city per se. I lived in New Britain. That was my first place I ever lived
Oh,
on my
wow.
own. I had an apartment in New Britain and family in Newington. Grew up around there, and then moved to Colchester and then got country, and then moved out here about 12 years ago. But
Yeah.
actually no, 15 years ago I've been out here now.
But
Shit.
what I was getting at was like the food and the different things that the cities provide.
Oh, absolutely.
It just does make it worth it to go up once or twice a year. My wife's listening. She's not gonna listen.
No,
I would like to think that we bring a little of that here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think
That's
so.
kind of what we're trying to
Yeah.
accomplish a little bit. Bringing things that you can't get around here.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
go get pastries anywhere, but
So you don't have to travel to Boston to
Yeah.
get good pastry.
I mean, I can't say we're Boston quality, but yeah, we are.
I
can
think
say
we are.
I mean, I think it looks. I'm sure it's
mean,
gonna taste like it. so.
Definitely, yeah, shows like any bakery I've been to. So it's, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Aramonies.
Oh yeah, I love ceremonies.
Yeah, Aramonies.
I used to go
great
fill a
place.
box all the time. They
Yeah.
were cheap, buck of pastry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's hard to compete with.
Yeah, a couple of my
That's
family
kind of what we
members
did
were
with our special at the brunch minis.
Yeah,
We did.
yeah.
a couple of my family members were big time Aramonies whoopie pies.
Oh,
Had
yeah.
to be at like every event for years.
No, that was
Wow.
I love their stuff. Their bars, their pie bars, and everything else. Their walnut sticks are really good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so eventually you guys will have those diehard. We have to have crumb pastry Crumb
We got a few.
Patisserie. Well, they are.
You could just call it crumb.
They are pastries, but they're made by the patisserie.
Right.
You got it.
That's what a patisserie does in
Yeah.
pastries. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a French word?
It's a French word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patisserie's French.
Every day you get a little more culture.
Boulangerie is bread. Patisserie is pastries. Yeah.
Bonjour.
Boulangerie.
Boulangerie.
I might not be
We're
saying
more of a
that right.
hybrid.
Yeah.
We do all of it.
I'm a mutt trying to speak French.
So, oh, that's what I'm. So for ordering, like they can order any day, and then you guys give them a day that it would be picked up, or you only take orders on certain days, and then you pick up on the
No,
same?
we take orders all throughout the week.
Okay.
So you request on a day other than Mondays and Tuesdays we're closed. The kitchen's closed Mondays and Tuesdays, and we don't cook anything those days. So, if you want something Tuesday or Wednesday, I mean, not Tuesday, I'm sorry. If you want something Wednesday, Thursday, we can have that ready for you. I mean,
Gotcha.
I will cook if I have to.
Yeah.
I try not to, on my days off, but we reserve those for events and so forth, which typically happens on those days. So.
Yeah.
More often than not, most of our orders, most people are ordering for the weekend anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
More
seems
often
to
than
be.
not.
Yeah, everybody has a pattern. We kind of got annoyed like a week or two ago. Like, why does everybody order at midnight on a Friday? And I'm wake up and I gotta accept the order on my
Yeah, we're like,
phone,
"What
and I'm like, yeah. So we love it
Wake me
though,
up.
but it's like, oh, we can make all you want.
That is funny.
It is, yeah, but it's getting used to it. It's interesting.
Yeah, even the chop shop was saying that it's really cool to get orders when you're not open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
That's your business.
Yeah.
Right.
In the
Yeah.
day,
You know what to
people are
expect.
thinking of
It's
it,
just
yeah.
tough when it's they want something 8 a.m. the next. For them, it would be like book an appointment at
Right.
midnight for
Whenever.
8 a.m. Right, the
right,
next
right.
day. For you guys, it might be okay. Pickup times noon, whatever.
Yeah.
But
If we need to, I mean, we try to accommodate. We got people picking up, like our buddy Sean Martin there had to pick up every morning at 6 o'clock for those 500 cookies. But we'll do what we got to do. The bakery, we can't whine. Bakery,
No.
you're up early,
No.
you're
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
thing.
plus, it's rewarding for yourself.
is.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's-
I'm getting old. I got to get up early in the morning like an old person now. So it feels good to watch the sun come up. So I'm not gonna have so many of those throughout life. So
Well, Mike DeParty.
Mike,
yeah,
Chef Mike. How you
Yeah,
doing, Mike?
he had said that. Yeah, he told his wife nobody was doing what you guys are doing around here.
Yeah.
He
He's,
said
he's
it's
a-
awesome.
He's been a great supporter since day one.
Yeah.
Starting to become a really good friend, and it's good. I like it.
We've met some really great people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's one thing I will say about going into business or just doing some sorts of thing that the people you meet and the people that share your passion, whether it's
Yeah.
the same thing or if they're doing something else, but the passion is there, and it's so much fun to combined efforts or just talk to each other, vent or whatever. You know what I mean? It's always it's just always so fascinating to me to like hear from like you guys and whatnot, and the idea that we just want to do something different, and we had an idea and
Yeah.
start out in our kitchen on Thanksgiving week.
That's what we did. Boom.
And-
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's either that or we're gonna be looking for a cardboard box to live in. No joke. But, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's rewarding to
It is.
you see where you are, and then you see what it's done for you
Oh,
to
yeah.
just create this out of nothing.
Yeah.
And,
Well, they say the best foundation is rock bottom, right? So,
yeah, yeah,
It's very rewarding.
yeah. That's awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart.
No.
Right.
it is not.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta have that willpower there, huh?
And be creative and flexible and listen, to what people want. And,
Working and taking orders, even when you don't have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I could just go punch a clock somewhere.
yeah, not me.
Just gonna go do it.
No, you guys will take orders on Monday and Tuesday,
Yeah.
but they wouldn't be ready till Wednesday.
No, they wouldn't be ready.
Yeah.
Stay.
Okay.
So-
So your website, everything's still open.
Yep.
They
Yep,
can order whenever they
absolutely.
want. They just-
Absolutely, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And again, call us, text us, shoot us a message through Messenger on Facebook.
We,
Yeah.
we try to
Email.
be very responsive, so
Oh, we are. I would say we're
typically
super
people don't have
responsive.
to wait too long for us
Yeah.
to get back to them.
No, yeah, you guys were very responsive when I messaged you about this. So
Yeah, I'm sure Kyle has put it in the comments already. But if you want to like give the phone number out, just-
Sure.
some people just listen to this on Spotify. So
What the hell is our the? We don't typically use the house phone.
But we can.
Yeah, so you can either call me, 860
Yeah.
316 7511, which is typically the best way to do it, considering I'm always the one taking orders. And,
Yeah. But alternatively, if you can't reach him, you can call or text me at 860-481-5703, and I can take your order that way as well.
Yeah. And your website?
www.crumbpatisseriecafe.com.
or Facebook Crumb Patisserie.
And,
Yeah, that one I'll have to put in after. I was worried about spelling patisserie.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I want to hear you guys attempt my last name.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Last name.
I like it.
I've only seen it like once.
It's Monacchio.
Monacchio. Okay, I was gonna say
okay.
for the C's was a not a.
Well, like it depends on who you are. It's pronounced Monocchio, Monacchio.
Italian.
Yeah, it's Italian. A little bit.
So you guys do cannolis?
We can't.
Oh, because
I got questions though, because there's people out there that do cannolis and nothing but cannolis. I got to do some research because I would love to do cannolis. I just don't
We're
think
kind
we
of
could
curious
do.
if there's other licensing
Yeah, I
that
gotta
we're
find.
missing out on where it allows us to do some of the things that we can't do under the cottage license. So.
Yeah, because we've been approached by
Oh.
like a la mode. They
Oh, my
wanted us to
gosh.
put stuff in their
Yeah.
store.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yeah.
I've got a friend that owns Putnam supermarket. He wanted me to put stuff in his store, and I can't do it.
We can't do it.
Wow.
So,
Can't do it.
if anybody has any information on that,
I think we would be doing so much better. Or we could be doing so much.
what is the requirement to get the next
We
level?
just need a different licensing. We need commercial.
Commercial equipment,
and
yeah.
all that
Everything's
stuff.
got to be stainless
Yeah.
steel.
Yeah,
and
NSF
inspected.
certified.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
which we tried to do anyway.
Yeah.
Like when we were building our kitchen for
Yeah.
our bakery, we
Everything
we
I've ever
really
done is
did, if we
commercial,
had to
but-
buy something,
Yeah.
we tried to make it so that it was NSF
Yeah.
or compliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, just makes things safer.
Yeah, and then we can bring it with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Can't wait to see if you guys end up on a main street somewhere.
I think we will. I'd like to. I could
I
see
hope
us,
so.
honestly. I see us in Boston or somewhere around there. You know,
Yeah.
we might not be as successful as some of these other places, but somewhere with a lot of foot traffic, and I think we would kill it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Putnam or Danielson could.
Yeah. Well, but Danielson would have been a good storefront for
I
us.
mean-
It just didn't work at the time.
Yeah.
We have a pizza joint way out in the woods of Killingly that
They do well.
it does
well.
really well.
We sure do.
You build it, they will come. That's what she said.
That's what I
right?
said.
Yeah. So,
That's where we
I
are.
mean, you guys are a testament to it, right?
right. Yeah. So
Not a doubt.
Yeah, we're very grateful.
Yep.
awesome. Well, thanks. It was
Thank
great
you.
meeting you guys.
you very
It's
much.
always it's always a different thing for me when I meet people for the first time around the bench. You know?
I think this one nice and smooth. It was
Yeah,
really
we
Yeah.
appreciate it.
appreciated having us.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, everyone. Join us Saturday, February 24th, when we interview owners of the Bassett's Sugar House. Yes, Saturday morning at 9 a.m., the Bassett brothers will be here to tell us about their maple sugar operation and their annual open house. Also, it's still February. Please consider donating to your local food bank, as these are the lean and cold months. And we just don't want to forget about anybody and leave anybody out in the cold. Most food banks will accept donations of all sorts: food, canned goods, blankets, scarves, mittens, coats,
Toiletries.
Yep.
all the toiletries,
Diapers.
diapers. Yep, all those things. So just keep it in mind. If you can, you can. It's awesome. So. Anyway, as always, buy local, hire local, dine local, volunteer local, and donate local. Have great days.
Thank you very